Tell me I shouldn't buy delicate binoculars without insurance? Fine, I won't buy them then. Many years ago I had some hospitality tickets for F1 at Silverstone. I think it was the year Hamilton won his first season. I decide to get some binoculars to take with me. So I go to the local Jessops and talk to a very nice saleslady, who seems genuinely excited at the idea of going to F1 at Silverstone. She suggests some binoculars and I get my wallet out. At which point sales guy comes bounding over, pushes saleslady out of the way, grabs the binoculars I was going to buy from her, and asks what I am thinking of using them for. Barely lets me answer as he grabs some that me and saleslady had already discounted, because they were twice as much, and suggests that they would be a much better option. Mildly irritated at this point, I was enjoying chatting to saleslady. I list some of the reasons that she told me they weren't a good fit. Sales guy rolls his eyes, says she just a trainee, and the expensive ones are really the ones I want. Eventually it takes quite a stern no to stop him trying to upsell me. At this point I really just want to walk out the shop, but I suffer from the occasionally debilitating condition of being English, and that kind of embarrassment is just too much to take. Instead I'll buy them, and go home fantasizing about all of the cool things I should have said. So card in hand, I'm just about to pay and he asks about whether I want insurance. No, just that thanks. You really should have insurance. They are very delicate. It doesn't take much to knock a lens out of alignment. No, it's fine. Just the binoculars please. You probably shouldn't buy them without the insurance. Finally given a way out. I nod and agree, and he runs out the back to get the paperwork for the insurance. He comes back and asks me for my name for the insurance. Oh no, sorry. I was agreeing with you that I shouldn't buy them. Not if they are that delicate. I'm quite clumsy, so I definitely break them. He tries to backtrack on some of the ones that saleslady had suggested, saying that they would actually be perfect for me. I reminded him he said they weren't very good. Then I thanked him for helping me see that I really didn't need to spend all of that money on binoculars, and walked out. So sorry to hear about your condition. I hope you get better soon. Not a good salesman. Selling multiple brands and styles of the same item, I learned you don't besmirch any item. It's almost impossible to walk it back if the customer starts leaning toward that item you just denigrated. If there is another salesperson showing the one you just said was no good, you probably just blew the sale for your fellow salesperson, much like the salesperson in the story. I had this same scenario with an extended warranty on a car. They told me the car would definitely have engine trouble in the first 2 years. Said I didn't want the car then. The verbal gymnastics after were hilarious. Oh, that went way better than I was hoping for. Well done. I bet he blamed the saleslady for blowing the sale. I was buying something at an electronics store and I got a very pushy sales clerk who wouldn't take no for an answer when she tried to get me to buy insurance for the item. When she started trying to scare me, I thanked her for warning me how bad the product was and walked away. That poor saleslady. I feel sorry for her that the jerk shoved her out of the way. He cost her a sale and then screwed himself out of a sale too. I am so happy there are 2 of us that think like that. I do that with a lot of stuff when they come out and are like, you know you are going to bust that. I am like, you're right. I guess it is not all that well made. I will have to find a better quality one someplace else. I did get the extended contract on a boombox about 20 years ago. I got the boombox for next to my hot tub, which saw under kind of an open-a-frame roof. It had sided but the top did not come together so you could see the sky. The guy said any damage was covered, so we just left out there year-round and traded it in every Couple of months for a new one. They kept getting nicer. Started with a POS with a string dial and ended up with a digital one with a remote. I brought the last one inside. You handled that well. I had a pushy sales interrupter before. It was a while ago, but I recall the conversation went something like, me, cutting him off. Excuse me, would you mind standing over there? Pointing to the other side of the room. Him. What? Me. Could you please stand over there where you were? We were having a conversation. Him. Me. Thanks. Less than turning away, looking towards first person. Where were we? I did something very similar when buying a laptop years ago. I'd done a lot of research and knew what I wanted, could afford, and my first salesperson was very helpful. But then her superior jumped in and tried to help before I paid. His forceful suggestions almost tripled the price I was willing to pay, and included things I didn't need. He wouldn't stop being pushy, so I took the computer he kept trying to insist I needed, despite me saying no, and set it down near the exit before walking out the doors and ordering the computer I wanted online from another store. The fastest way to get me to walk away from a purchase is to say, you don't want that. You want this. In some form or another. Not being English, native Texan, I have no problem telling them they've lost a sale. And why? I have no tolerance for pushy salespeople. Be sure and write a review for the shop, naming the man who talked you out of spending so much money on such a delicate item. This reminds me of a time I went into a Curry's in a shopping center to buy some headphones. I walk in and ask a random worker for advice and am directed to wait for the expert. I patiently do for about 510 minutes and he wanders over. I explain that I want a pair that can be both used outside with my phone and at home as gaming headphones. He expresses concern that he can't guarantee that they'd work for gaming. I assure him that it's on a PC so they'll work. It being just a universal 3.5mm connector after all. However, not allowing me to wave the concern aside, he's quite insistent that he can't guarantee that any set of headphones would work for me for gaming. I get the hint and leave. I walk next door to the game shop and present the same criteria. The shopkeeper thinks a moment and picks a box off of the shelf behind him. He says he's heard good things from friends and family. I looked the box over, probably did a quick Google, and happily paid the £80. 5+ years later, my HyperX Cloud 2s are still in great condition, still used every day, and still in any top 10 list of quality for money headphones. And that is the English way. John Pinette does a hilarious set about this very thing. Here's the video. Personally, I would have gone out of my way to buy the ones that you had wanted from the sales lady and made sure he saw the whole thing. You probably shouldn't buy them without the insurance. He just wants the spiff for the insurance policy because the margins on them are ridiculous compared to the merchandise. Not sure where you live, but in the US you can get a refund on insurance policies within 30 days if you haven't made a claim. So what you do is tell the sales guy, well, that's kind of expensive. Can you give me a discount on the binoculars to make up for the added cost of the insurance? If he bites, then you talk him down as low as you can. Finalize the purchase. Then go home and cancel the insurance. You get a full refund on the insurance. He loses the spiff on the insurance policy, and he makes less commission on the sale because he gave you a discount. I enjoyed your story even more by imagining John Cheese playing you, and leaving doing a silly walk. I guess he didn't see the big picture before he opened his mouth. And you managed to get him good without a single tut. let alone a tut-tut.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.